One other question I wanted to ask you, and it's a simple question that I should have probably asked. If I come to you and say, okay, we're going to do this with our team, we're going to do the assessment. These tests are done online with an IT system, I'm assuming?
Everything goes online.
Okay, good. And then the feedback is provided in a short period of time, and whether or not you're involved or that they do it by themselves is something you determine. So we've gone through the 6 to 12-month development stage of going through actions with the coaching sessions in between with the retrospectives. I'm assuming to be able to measure impact, you do another evaluation after 12 months. Is that correct?
It really depends on the company.
Okay.
Some companies, it's seldom, but of course, in project management, there's a lot of leading the project and all that. So 360 is never after a kind of a perfect rehearsal, to say.
Oh, I keep asking you very straight line questions, and you give me sometimes paradox answers, but I like them. So you're saying, if I were to answer my question and you can disagree with me, theoretically, yes, because that's kind of the quantitative rational approach to it. In reality, what you're saying is that the reality of project life is dynamic and there are no destinations. It's always a journey. Am I interpreting it right? So it's not about not necessarily just about achieving a certain maturity level. Maturity levels do this. Is that am I understanding you correctly? So some of your clients, I'm assuming, use subjective measurement to say after a year, we feel like we're doing better.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But if they wanted to have a quantitative, rational validation of that, they could use the assessment again.
Yeah, that's correct.
Good. Well, Lieven, this has been very interesting. I hope we've been able to transfer. I found it very interesting. I hope we've been able to transfer the interest to our listeners as well. If somebody says, you know what, can I get a second or a third opinion on this? Is there any recommended reading that you would say these are good books that leaders or managers should read to kind of open their perspective and their mind when it comes to competency building within their teams?
I must say I'm reading a very diverse book, so it's not really about specifically competency building.
It can be something that's maybe not directly but indirectly. What are some of the literature that you've read or are reading right now that you think is?
Well, very interesting books to me are, for example, book Grit, and then the answer to the book Grit was Range. Very interesting books.
So True Grit and Range were the two books you mentioned?
Grit was the first book.
Grit
as a book.
Yeah.
I'm really bad in names, so I don't recall exactly the right.
We'll blend it into the screen so people
is Range.
And
the name of the book that is kind of answer to Grit is Range. So it's Grit. It's really the focus, while Range.
So Grit is about resilience. I'm presuming.
Yes.
And the second title was what?
And the second is Range.
Range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It means that saying kind of the opposite to the Grit.
Okay.
I like this kind of
so you like this kind of even in your reading you like the paradox approach to. Okay.
So and then like the book on sleep by Matt Walker.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really why we sleep. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And most interesting books that I've been reading a couple of years ago about decision making, the power of decision making.
I know that one. One of my favorite. Okay. Great.